Good afternoon. I'm in Syracuse waiting in my car for a dermatology appointment. I have to burn an hour. My wife went in first, and I thought I would generate another 10 minutes. That will be a video podcast, that's building on the first one. And again, no script. I'm not trying to be too slick about it. What I really want to do is say that across these 5 or 10 podcasts of 10 minutes, that you have a sense of me, my values. I do believe this is going to be a model for what you ought to consider doing with your patients too. We really don't need much more than professionalism when the tooth breaks or there's a hole or a person needs something and you say, this is my diagnosis, this is broken. And that's what I'm labeling as needs-based dentistry. You need this. You need to think about doing this. The language of that is something that we learn in school. But I remember years ago hearing that maybe only 5 or 10% of dentistry is necessary. At first, that can be confusing. I'm not sure that's supposed to make sense immediately to you, but I guarantee after a half an hour of talking about it, you would say, okay, I kind of get that. But the idea is that 5%, 10% of dentistry, 20, whatever the number is, it's not 90 of dentistry is needs-based. And some of the language of that is that once the need, I need this is broken, once the need is fixed, they don't need you anymore. They don't need you at that moment. But the language of elective dentistry is not the language of needs dentistry. And, again, throwing out different thoughts. One is that 50% of people don't go to the dentist. It might even be higher, which means they don't really need it because they're not going. They don't have pain, bleeding, swelling, and imminent cost or expense, so they don't go. So if someone says you need to do this and they're like, no, I don't, then that overly simple language, simpleton language, doesn't really matter. It's not that effective. Oh, take the medical arena. Oh gosh, you're overweight, you have diabetes, you need to stop smoking and stop eating horribly. You need to. Guess what? It's not that effective. And the idea, the prospect of having a life of giving people your best and having them say, I don't think so, I'm not going to do it, or 1 in 5 accept, or playing the numbers games, hey, I'll see this many people. I don't know. The whole assembly line idea of healthcare that we could talk about where that came from. The assembly line will set up our operatories and just handle people like their car is moving in front of us, and we'll take care of it's broken and do estimates. It's like, nah, I'm not the guy to talk to you about how to speed up your front desk velocity or get a call center and make sure your schedule is busy, because all of those models are trying to increase what you make an hour, what you generate an hour, and if it's low intimacy, the tooth is broken, that requires not much feeling in heart from you, that would you like this fixed or not? Insurance will cover it. I just don't want to be in that space, okay? I tell folks that dentists are like parents. This is my view, there's lots of different ways to be a parent. There's lots of ways to be a carpenter. And in a way, it's not right for anybody, in my view, to be criticizing somebody. This is the way I want to be a carpenter. This is the way I want to be a parent. Okay? But there's a lot of differences. And where you want to be, what type of parent, what type of carpenter, what type of dentist is a choice. And part of getting good at whatever type of dentist you'd like to be is learning the language and the values that are part of that type. If you want to be a framing carpenter that makes the outside of houses, you need different skills than you need if you're making cabinets or you're using other kinds of wood tools. So if you think that you can kind of fudge along and try to figure out how to do better stuff, better carpentry, better dentistry without really working at it or having very good advice. Like, I can be a great golfer. I don't need any lessons. Okay, that's one approach. But my thought myself is that part of getting better is the skill of finding somebody that's very good, that wants to work with you, that the student, have a nice temperament where nice people will want to work with me. Another part of the dynamic with teacher-student is some students are impossible. They're just not pleasant to work with, no matter what, whether they're paying or not. So part of my view is that getting with good people that can really help you move because of their skill and their goodness and their kindness and their heart, you almost have to earn those people into your life. And if you're just kind of at a tough part of your life, and I was annoying. I was annoying when I was younger because I was like, let's go. Come on, I want to learn this. And I remember learning the concept of the immature expression of enthusiasm. Like, I was enthusiastic, let's go. But I was immature, and I was maybe even obnoxious to the people that might want to share some things with me. And guess what? He's kind of a high maintenance student. Let's not do that. So I might have got the cold shoulder from those people. So part of what I'm doing at this stage of my life is going to be cherry picking who I want to grow with and who wants to grow with me. And part of that is a certain offering and a generosity of spirit right now with these videos to let you know who I am and where we're going and what it's going to look like. And I don't think I can do it in just 2. Like, this is 9 minutes. I got 10 minutes out there. This is my second 10 minutes. I'm still waiting for my dermatology appointment in 9 minutes 27. And my vision is to create perhaps 10 minutes, 100 minutes to give you a chance to see whether maybe you want to look at this a little further with me. At that point, I really will have an option for you to take a peek at making an appointment with me or with with by people where we kind of do an assessment, just like a patient, you know, like let's do an intake, 1 page. What do you want? And, you know, what do you want sounds easy, but it's trickier than you think. But there's 10 minutes. I'll see you in the third podcast. Thank you. Bye-bye.